Hi, welcome to Saving America's Pets. I'm Holly Sizemore, Chief Mission Officer for Best Friends Animal Society, and this is BG, my co-host, who's saying hit like and subscribe. Charles Kettering, American inventor, said, "If you always have done it that way, it is probably wrong." In the next few episodes, we are going to hear about some amazing organizations who have pivoted in interesting and challenging ways in order to break down roadblocks and save more lives. Today, we are excited to speak to Kathleen Kisich with City Pitbulls and Kaylee Hawkins, Pacific Regional Director for Best Friends Animal Society. Kathleen and Kaylee exemplify the kind of creative doers that help usher in new ways of doing things in order to promote the greater good. And the reason I say creative doers instead of creative thinkers can be summed up by this quote by novelist D.H. Lawrence. "The world doesn't fear a new idea. It can pigeonhole any idea, but it can't pigeonhole a real new experience." Here's a video showing how Angel City Pitbulls took on a very new experience for them. Welcome, Kathleen. Welcome, Kaylee. Thanks for being here.
Hi, thank you.
Kathleen, tell us a little bit about Angel City Pitbulls. Who are you? What do you do?
So Angel City Pitbulls was started about, this is our 10th year. It started by Katie Larkin. She noticed that pitbull type dogs were the ones that were being euthanized the most in the shelter system. It's 100% volunteer run, and we our main focus is like Big Lou over here, pitbull type dogs.
You were a group that was focused on blocky-headed dogs.
Yes.
But now you're taking in neonatal kittens. What's up with that?
Well, we just decided we needed more things to do, I think. No, I'm just kidding. We started taking in the kittens, which we lovingly call pittens, because we realized that not only do pit bulls have a sort of a struggle in the shelter system for being adopted, but also neonatal kittens take so much work for volunteers that they actually have as hard, or if not harder, chance in the shelter system as pit bull type dogs. So we, through Best Friends and through the shelter system, we took on the neonatal kitten program, or what we like to call our kitten program. Kittens, there is a little bit more that goes into it, as far as, some of them might need to be bottle fed or weaned onto food, or, have certain illnesses that we need to keep track of. So finding fosters who are willing to take in multiple kittens at a time, and also just getting the word out that we needed people to also help run the program.
What have been the biggest rewards?
I mean, I think the biggest reward for everyone is saving lives. There's just no better thing. Because when you see a dog that was cowering in the shelter running on the beach with his family, it's just the best feeling.
That is great. And I agree, there is no better feeling. Kaylee, what are some of the creative ways you've seen groups pivot and tackle roadblocks?
One of the interesting points that I always like to make is that rescue groups can support in new and creative ways, and it doesn't mean you have to pull the animal. I think that's always our go-to, is we want to save an animal and bring them into our program, but we've seen a lot of different types of groups who are providing services to the local sheltering community that's helping the shelter go above and beyond. So one of them is Helen Sanders Cat Paws. They're based down in the South Bay of Los Angeles area, and they're supporting the Long Beach Animal Shelter by providing kitten kits. And so this is a group that's traditionally doing TNR, SNR. They're doing all the work that we cat lovers know needs to happen to prevent kittens coming in. But when those kittens do come in, what could they do? So instead of creating a foster program or pulling them, they create these really great kits that helps for either intervention type work, so that people who bring kittens to the counter, the Long Beach team can actually convert them into fosters for their own program. And then if that doesn't work, then when they put them into their traditional foster program, they're able to have those supplies already ready to go. So that's one really cool way. Another way that I found really interesting, we have a partner in the NKLA coalition, Paws for Life Canine Rescue, and they are traditionally working in the prison training program system. And so a lot of times they're pulling those dogs and they're putting them into their program. But when they ran into a capacity concern where they didn't think that they would have enough space for dogs to be directly pulled in during the 4th of July holiday last year, they actually pulled those dogs into the prison program and said, if someone adopts them from LA Animal Services, they're coming fully trained. They're coming fully vetted. They've been in a 12-week training program. You can adopt from our shelter now and have 12 weeks of free training, you know, sight unseen. So that was really cool. They did that for a handful of dogs last summer. And it's one of those programs that we just see are really innovative. You have something you can provide, and it doesn't mean you have to do the direct life saving.
Kaylee, how do groups figure out these creative solutions?
Yeah, so I would say the first and foremost, what a group needs to do is really understand what their shelter needs. And so when you understand what the needs are in your sheltering system, then the solutions and the creative outlets come from there. You know, you can be a traditional group, like a traditional pit bull type group, and you can still find ways to save other animals. We all got into this industry to be animal lifesavers. And so to be able to see groups like Angel City show that they're saving even the most vulnerable population outside of the dog world is really admirable and something that groups could consider.
In your experience, how have you seen organizations realizing that it's time to let something go?
Yeah, you know, times change, and the sheltering world is a constantly evolving organism. Things that we were doing 10 years ago, 5 years ago, last year are completely different than how they need to be done now. And so having rescue type organizations or animal welfare supporting organizations really talking to their sheltering system and understanding this is what the need is, and so the actions that I'm doing right now aren't serving the greater good. So if you're you know, a rescue group that's traditionally saved labs, for example, Labrador type dogs, maybe 10 years ago there was an overabundance of those in the shelter. In Los Angeles right now, Kathleen and I can tell you, if you walk into one of our city or county shelters, you're not going to find those types of dogs. The community is coming out for them. They're being rescued and placed in the systems that we want them to. We want shelters to be sustainable and to be able to work with the community for adoption directly. And so seeing groups, we had a group in Los Angeles that actually was a breed specific rescue, but it was breed and friends. And we saw that group pulling more of the friend type dogs, the dogs that actually needed life-saving outcome, and even cats. They pivoted to cats because the need was so great for cats. The organization's original reason to be a breed rescue was no longer relevant, and so they really delved into the friend concept.
Kathleen, with an all-volunteer organization, how has your organization shed old ways?
Well, we are very lucky to have a deep well of volunteers, and we have volunteers from all different walks of life. And so what we do, and I think what our executive director really does, is listens to people and takes in any kind of suggestion, also continuing to talk to best friends and our shelter system, you know, our partners in the shelter system as to what the needs are. I would say roadblocks are growth.
Kathleen, what are some of the things that you used to do for Pitties 10 years ago that you no longer do?
We have had to continuously evolve in our rescue organization. You know, as we all learned more about the breed, about what their needs are, we definitely started shifting our focus, you know, and on top of that, we've noticed the support that is needed. I think in the beginning, a lot of it can be really focused on getting the dogs into a home, saving a life. But if you can't keep that dog in that home, that's not going to work either. They're just going to wind up back in the shelter. We're going to wind up having them back in the rescue. So really adopter support and having an adoption support system, as well as classes, as well as, every pit bull, every Angel City Pitbull is forever an Angel City Pitbull. So we will take them back and we will help the owners throughout the life of the dog. And I think that's been something that's really changing that focus from just life-saving to also support system has been a real game changer for us.
Providing the community with the support they need to be successful pet parents.
That's going to be a big responsibility for all of us moving forward, because we're seeing a lot of adoptions and fosters, and that's awesome, but keeping animals in the homes is a big deal. So
Kathleen, if folks want to learn more about Angel City Pitbulls, where can they go?
They can go to our website, which is angelcitypits.org. And also all of the info at angelcitypits.org emails are read and sent to the right person. So you won't just be emailing into a void if you want to learn more about us.
Kathleen, Kaylee, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate your time and all your hard work.
Thank you. I really appreciated being here.
Thanks, Holly.
Change can be scary. Even when we know the old ways aren't what we want, it's scary because the new ways require us to let go of certainty, to take risks, and to be willing to make some mistakes along the way. And yet what I hear over and over from animal welfare professionals who commit to being creative doers and change agents, that the rewards are worth it. My deepest gratitude to all you brave and bold creative doers out there, saving pets' lives and enriching our souls with your passion, compassion, and action. Together, we can save them all.